Huh. Is that any better? You all can hear me okay? I gotta wait for the stream delay. Okay. Sorry about that. Just when I think I'm getting the hang of this, it turns out I'm not at all. My name is Nick Marinelli. I am the Executive Director of MAGFest Inc., a nonprofit dedicated to the preservation of video game, music, and gaming of all types. What you're listening to, or watching rather, is our monthly Fireside chat. That's where I go over the goings-ons of MAGFest, what's happened before, what's coming up next, what's going on internally, what the office is up to, any other notable happenings. This is primarily geared towards staff, but everyone is welcome to listen in, because we always welcome everyone to check out what's going on with MAGFest. Well, first off, I need to apologize for kicking back the stream, the chat 1 week. It's usually the second Thursday of every month. So your patience is appreciated. We had to push it back to Wednesday. But it has been a very busy month. And before I start going on that, two important things. I can't really pay attention to the stream chat that much, but I do want to answer questions. You can ask the questions here. And as always, if you ever want to get a time with me personally, just hit that guy up right there, and that hooks directly to my Google Calendar, so it's usually accurate about when I'm available. If you want to get a time to talk about anything at all, whatever you want to talk about, I like romantic dinners, long walks on the beach, and explaining the plot of Echo the Dolphin. So if you want to link up, go ahead, get a time, and I'll get alerted to it, and I'll let you know if that works. So with that said, let's go over what's happened over the past month-ish. Magstock happened. That's our camping event in Louisa, Virginia, Central Virginia. Thought it'd be a good idea to put nerds in the woods. Well, someone did, but as it turns out, they were right. It went great. It was our biggest, certainly the biggest one ever. Super smoothly run. It's a super chill event. It's personally my favorite, because I don't have to do anything. Really, not that much, but it's still really fun. Big props to the Mark Mernan and Matt Reed for putting that together, and also Amanda Lawson, Woody. Her and her team saved the day when it came to putting together food. So everyone, give Woody a big round of applause, because she's awesome. Past Magstock, too many games happened in Oaks, Pennsylvania. They claim it's Philadelphia, but don't believe them. That was not one of our events, but it was a promo event, and one of the first, if not the first, promo event that was headed up by our new communications manager, Dak, David A. Croach, but he just goes by Dak. And that was a really good event. Had a lot of people coming by the table to get flyers, get the pitch, hear about all of the MAG events coming up, and we had a lot of help around the table. So it was a pretty good time, had it all. And again, thank you to Dak for putting that together. A couple weeks ago was MAGWestCon. If you're familiar with MAGCon, it's the convention to plan MAGFest. MAGFest not being a convention, a festival. We have a MAGCon in November that applies mostly to Super MAGFest. We have a MAGCon in spring, which is kind of global organizational topics, and most other MAG events have their own MAGCon as well. I know Lat Labs has their own. Pretty sure they have one this year. Joe can Joe will tell you in chat and correct me if I'm wrong for sure. So MAGWestCon was an opportunity for the leaders and the department heads of MAGWest to get together, get some FaceTime, talk about any pressing issues that have to do with the operation of the event, and just in general, if anybody needs help with anything. It's amazing how much FaceTime can accomplish, and what would normally take 6 weeks of email, you can get done in about like a 15-minute face-to-face conversation. So that went really well. A lot of department heads showed up, and it seemed like a good time, and people got moving. It was a really good boost of energy. After that, we had Lab Steel Day, which was just this past Saturday. There was a Mag Labs party in the warehouse. Obviously, play on Bastille Day, July 14th. I was not able to make it myself, but I heard it was good, and that the labs people have been doing cool stuff with their warehouse parties. They had one earlier this year as well for launch, and it's cool that they're really trying to bring together the social aspect to keep it like a community awareness year round, and getting people together with even more FaceTime, just to make sure that the events and the people and the energy of the people running it is as top tier as it can be. Since Lab Seal Day, so you might have seen posted in the office, but Hachi Matt Reed, our one of our Magstock co-heads, has stepped down. And so has Daniel Evans, aka Dare, the Mag West head, and Dare has named Deborah Lennick, our project manager at the office, and also Super Mag division head, and doing a lot of other stuff as the co-chair for Mag West. And Deborah's knocking it out of the park already, and Sheva, the other co-head for MagWest, Sheva Goldberg. She's really excited to work with Deborah, and I know Deborah can kick ass. And going forward, we're trying to figure out the best way that the office can continue to support MagWest, while also letting MagWest be its own thing, that while operating within the core values of MagFest, still gets to live a life of its own, growing into what it wants to be, and not just a copy paste of Super Mag. It will reflect the community that builds it, and I'm excited to where that's going. And speaking of the office helping out, Dak, our communications manager, and Dominic Cirquetti, our old executive director, made a trip out to the Bay Area, I guess Santa Clara, San Jose, the past week. They went out last Tuesday, and they got back last night after having a bout with bed bugs. So they will let you know about the hotel they stayed at, so that you can leave bad reviews, because they're allowed to do that per the document they signed. But you didn't hear that from me. Oh shit, is this recorded? But yeah, Dak and Dom basically spent the week catching up with different department heads, making sure people were unlocked and ready to go. Basically, a reiteration of MagWestCon, except spread out over the week. And also, they had another MagWestCon that people also showed up to, and had a real fun time putting it together. Dak was telling me about the amazingly warm reception that they were getting as they were doing promo. They were walking through downtown San Jose, stopping at different game shops, and literally every single shop that they went into was excited to put up the flyer they're giving out. Like the absolute bare minimum they encountered was people putting up the flyers. Everyone else was was looking for ways to get involved, seeing if they could contribute in some way. Some people wanted to have like registration specials if you register in their shop during tournaments. As they were walking around, some people who overheard the conversation pulled them aside, like, "Oh, hey, are you guys from MAGFest or MAGWest? We've heard of you. This sounds really cool. I want to help out. I want to see what's coming up." So there's a lot of energy going on out there, and I'm excited for what MAGFest can become, because clearly this community, the community out there is thirsting for it. And MAGFest, as we do, we're happy to give the community out there an environment to grow and make the event their own. Anything you want to say about Dagenham? That about covers it for their trip. Just the second MAGWest Con, hitting the promo beat, and catching up with a lot of the other department heads. Ashley Nicolette, our volunteer manager, she will be going out in the week or two prior to MAGWest to make sure that everything's locked down for department head checklists and staff shifts, everything pertaining to Uber that the department heads should be doing, and maybe are not, but yeah, Uber isn't exactly the most user-friendly thing. Yeah, Ashley has been working with Ryan Cho, the stops manager out there, as well as Josiah Tillett, the stops manager on the East Coast. Ashley's going to be checking in about hotel rooms, making sure that people who are claiming hotel room are fulfilling their hours, making sure that people who are eligible for a hotel room claim it and don't just ignore the checklist that's sent out to specify what dates they want. They're going to work with the departments to make sure that shifts are set up for each of the departments, which mostly is on a department to decide their own shifts and how they want to run their department. But if nothing else, stops is there to help navigate them through the process, give some best practices, and also make sure to get them filled. That's a big thing that the stops crew is doing, reaching out to try to fill empty shifts wherever they exist, so that people have help and they're not running into the ground putting the event together, because breaks are important. And I know MAGFest, one of our tenants is 24 hours, but like if you have a choice of keeping the event running 24 hours or getting sleep, I would highly recommend the latter. It's okay if we can't perfectly stay open for everybody all the time, and we'll learn from that and get more help next year. And speaking of, there's still room to get more help this year. If you know anybody in the Bay Area, literally anybody that wants to help out with MAGWest, it's coming up August 10th through the 12th at the Hyatt Regency Santa Clara, which California in my town, but that's between San Jose and San Francisco. People are making fun of me right now, I can tell it. But yeah, MAGWest is going to be awesome. Has a great band lineup. The Super Soul Brothers are playing, which is, oh, hey, look at this. Oh, the most comfortable t-shirt I've ever owned, by the way. Short story, when I saw someone else with the same shirt and noted how comfortable it was, and if they agreed, they informed me that everything that band does is comfortable, which I wish I could be as cool as that person to come up with that line. Okay, so Ashley is going out there. Artscape is coming up this weekend. Artscape is, I believe, it's the largest free arts festival in the country. It's a street festival in Baltimore that goes from Friday to Sunday. and just kind of like tons of art installations and vendors and food and concerts. And MAGFest runs a video billboard out there. Well, we don't run it, but we get to hijack it for a bit. It's like 50 feet tall, and we get to play the Mario twins on it. They look so goddamn alike. Uh, and I wonder, I think we're doing some concerts this year as well. And so it's cool to see concerts on stage also broadcast up on the video billboard. First time we did that, we had Bit Brigade. So we had like picture-in-picture of the band and Mega Man 2. That was pretty cool. No Bit Brigade this year. But other things we're doing at Artscape are Gamescape. Their indie game showcase area. We are bringing some classic consoles to set up. And also, we're hauling a Killer Queen. We're not directly responsible for running that, but they did stick us with a short straw of putting it in a truck and moving it. If you haven't played Killer Queen, it's a 10-player 5-on-5 arcade game, which is pretty awesome. But yeah, anyone in the Baltimore area, or anyone willing to come to the Baltimore area, we need a lot of help at Artscape. We have a lot of volunteer shifts to fill. And if you're in Slack, if you go to pound hashtag, it depends on how old you are, promo_Artscape, there's a channel for that. There should be a volunteer sign up form there. And also, if you email Artscape, that's art like artscape like landscape, at magfest.org, and you want to volunteer, you can let us know that way if you don't have access to Slack or anything like that. This weekend is a double header. We also have the Sam Arcade at the Smithsonian American Art Museum in Washington, D.C. We've been working for the Smithsonian for 6 years now. We helped them with their Art of Video Games exhibit back in 2012. And then after a year or two off, we started helping them again with basically these days or weekends, depending on the year, where they put up a bunch of indie developers from mainly the DC area, but around Delmarva as well. And we bring in a bunch of arcade machines, we bring in a bunch of classic consoles, and just thousands of people go through the museum when this event is open. And it's, as far as I know, one of the highest trafficked days during the year. So they really like it when we're there. And being involved with the stuff at the Smithsonian it really helps with kind of like our nonprofit mission of preservation and all of that. For one thing, like the Smithsonian was a big they vouched for us as we were going for nonprofit status, and also as we go forward, I don't think it's absurd to think that museum installations, either in someone else's museum or for physical space of our own, I don't know, in the far future, maybe 5 years, maybe 10 years, who knows? I don't think it's far-fetched to say it'd be reasonable to pursue that. And if we could work with the Smithsonian in some way, I'd love to make something like that happen. And if someone is interested in helping pursue that, email smithsonian@magfest.org. The event is this weekend, and I think we have enough volunteers, but you can also check with promo_Smithsonian in Slack as well for that. That event is July 22nd. That's this Sunday. There will be load-in, I believe, on Saturday, the day before, and they want to be loaded out by Sunday night, I believe. Yeah. So if you want to help out at that event on Sunday, or in general are interested in pursuing museum stuff for MAGFest, or a museum installation doesn't have to be a MAGFest branded museum thing. Just if we can be a part of making it happen, that's cool by me. What else do we have coming up? BitGen Gamerfest coming up July 28th at the Auto Bar in Baltimore. BitGen is like if you took MAGFest Concert Hall and shoved the whole thing into about 12 hours. John DeCampos, Chris Baines, that team that runs it. It's a gauntlet of video game music cover bands and other nerdy music acts. Tickets are cheap for that. They're only like $20 or $30, and that's for like a dozen or more bands playing upstairs and downstairs in the Auto Bar. And that's if you go to the MAGFest website, magfest.org, right there on the landing page is a link to the BitGen website. And I didn't realize that probably sounds like I'm saying bitchin', but BITGEN. Formerly, the event started as 8-bit genocide, and 16-bit genocide, 32, and so on. And then eventually they said fuck it, and they just called it BitGen Gamerfest. But yeah, that's coming up July 28th in Baltimore at the Auto Bar. Also that weekend is BronyCon down at the Baltimore Convention Center. And our own Sheva Goldberg is the event chair for that. And we also have some other staffers helping there. I think Mark Mernan and Jason Spriggs help there. I think Dylan Witchard as well. I think all three of those people live in the same house, so I cry foul of conspiracy there. But yeah, if you want to check out their event, that's the Baltimore Convention Center, July 27th through 29th. It's bronies. I don't know what else that's the thing. You know what they are. So as I said before, MAGWest is coming up August 10th through 12th in Santa Clara. If you're interested in helping that out with that at all, hashtag MAGWest in Slack. That's the channel to talk about that. For those not going to the West Coast for MAGWest and staying back on the East Coast, that same weekend is Otakon in Baltimore. And SmashCon is that same weekend. Well, maybe we're doing that or not. We were definitely doing promo at Otakon for our East Coast events, notably Labs and Super Mag. So we will definitely need help manning the table there. If you're interested in helping hit the promo beat at Otakon, that's promo_Otakon in Slack. I don't think we don't have a dedicated email for that. Kind of our general promotional email is socialmedia@magfest.org. So if you want to, if you don't have Slack access, you can email that. I'm trying to think of anything to say about promo other than I miss doing promo. That used to be my main gig, and seeing people's eyes light up when you tell them about what we do, it never gets old, and it's why I keep doing this. The next Fireside chat, I believe, is September 6th. But just to make sure we're talking about it in advance, MAGFest Laboratories, Mag Labs, is coming up September 7th through 9th at the Hilton Mark Center in Alexandria, Virginia. Mag Labs is if you took MAGFest and combine it with a makerspace, not a marketplace like our flyers say. Sorry, I do not proofread. But they have a bunch of it's like MAGFest except with more intimate feel and focus on hands-on learning activities. You can learn to solder, learn to sew, learn to program, learn music theory. It's a really cool hands-on learning place with MAGFest values kind of backing it up. And I keep hearing something about walking on Legos, which seems surely against our core values, but I will look the other way. And maybe I don't know. My feet actually hurt thinking about that right now. Mag Labs is also on the magfest.org landing page. So if you go to MAGFest.org, you get a link from there. That's about it for when it comes to upcoming events. Some notable internal happenings. There's updates with the division heads for Super MAGFest. A division is a group of departments logically grouped together, and division head is a person that leads that division, primarily acting as support. They're not really supposed to act like a department head. We're like kind of giving direct orders to the people that you are. I don't like saying beneath you because it doesn't accurately reflect how the people you're supporting. I think that's more accurate verbiage for how MAGFest is structured. So div heads make sure that that budgets are taken care of for that department, assistance with layouts, help with any interdepartmental things that may be an issue. Just general, they're there to support, and they help provide a clear chain of command / support, so that people know where to go for help and don't necessarily just cry out in vain to somebody in the office, help us. We don't know. Making sure there's clear help is important. So we first off, I realize that division head is a little bit of an ambiguous initialism when compared against department head. Maybe we'll change the name of the div head from div head to like branch head or something like that. But I recognize that's a thing and is worth looking into. But regarding div heads in general, we need help. The 6 divisions in Super Mag, let's just remember them: ops, communications, staff services, music, gaming, and programming. For stuff that's not obviously named, programming is kind of anything that's on the schedule that's neither music nor gaming. So like panels, or maybe like the yoga for gamers, the zombie tag, which is technically a game, LARP, that kind of stuff. Operations covers the hotel team, registration, tech ops, security or accessibility department, and among others. And staff services is STOPS, the staff suite. The innkeepers, the people who make sure that staff hotel rooms are assigned. Communications basically covers anything forward-facing and printed materials. So all kinds of promotion, merchandise, signage, info desk. That's all them. The div heads need help. Basically, each employee has a division that they're heading. And it's tough to juggle that with all the other work in the office. So if nothing else, just assistance would be nice. And the gaming division, led by Trumpster Hartley and Lauren Schwartz, at least last year, needs help because personal life is hitting them hard, and God bless them. I wish them the best of luck. But the gaming division definitely needs help. So I'm going to paste in a link in both Slack and in the YouTube chat. If you are interested in helping out at a division level or know anybody else that is, please send them that way. I feel awful because budgets layouts are being held up for departments. I know they're waiting. The departments are waiting for them. So yes, any help is welcome. Besides that, another big thing is the SAFE team has been established, or the SAFE committee, whatever you want to call it. Previously in the world of MAGFest, when security incidents occurred, basically how it worked was report it on site at the event as soon as you can. If you can't report it on site, if you report on site, we can take care of it. But if you can't, it's out of our hands. We did that for basically until now, which is not a good thing, because even though we did as much as we could for a multitude of reasons, things can't be reported at the event. And there's a lot of like psychological things, stigma things where stigma is trying to be broken, but it still happens. And people who have something to report, they need time to get their thoughts together and compose themselves to report that, and they can't necessarily be expected to do that at the event. So if there's a case of harassment or assault at a MAGFest event, that's something that can be confidentially reported to the SAFE team, and they can investigate the situation and recommend an action to happen from the report. So either warnings or outright permanent bans anywhere on that spectrum. It should be noted that actionable reports that are actionable are things that happen at a MAGFest event, even if they're reported afterwards. Our code of conduct says pretty explicitly that we really can't be responsible for things that happen outside the event. Every time we have gotten involved with it, it's been some kind of internet drama. And one time we ended up wasting time with the FBI because someone had said they'd submitted a restraining order, but they actually hadn't. It didn't exist. And that's not to say that reports that come in about things outside the event are false. It's just that it requires an inordinate amount of effort to cover everything that happens outside. But at the least we can do is make sure the stuff happens at event is addressed. So this is for code of conduct violations like harassment or assault. And it doesn't matter if it's staff or attendee or guest or anybody at MAGFest at all, or even venue staff. I don't know. They all go through the same process, and that's safe@magfest.org. They can give you more information about how to report, what their reporting process is. And it's strictly confidential. Even I am not on that mailing list, so I don't see the reports that come in. It's that it's handled that sensitively. What else? If you have behavioral issues with a staffer, things like maybe they're not respectful or they're not showing up for shifts, that's kind of, if it's performance things, that's in a different category than what the SAFE team would handle. Performance stuff you should report up the chain to department head, div head, office, board, as far as it goes to get a resolution. So yeah, if you're mad at someone in general, you're not the SAFE team. But if you do have concerns for safety of the event, please absolutely email them without hesitation. Okay, so that was all the notes I had. Let me hop over to the Fireside chat question form to see what has been asked. Gabe asks, I have a nonprofit grant for my work I would like to give to MAGFest. Who should I provide as the contact for the organization? And should my company wish to speak with a representative directly? That's a good question. I would probably say the email to contact would be grants@magfest.org. And I am probably the de facto default contact for that. But if anybody is willing to join in to help volunteers sort through that kind of stuff, that'd be hugely helpful. We commissioned a contractor to helped do a massive grant research project for us, where they basically built all the pieces of a grant application that's found on most grant applications, and also an extensive calendar of grants that we're most likely to be able to get. What the grant is, when we're supposed to apply, how much money we should ask for, what kind of connections we should try to explore to help us. And it's just a general cheat sheet to based on their experience, like what we're gonna have the best luck getting. But even though we have that info, it's tough to follow up on. But yeah, like if you're interested in helping out with grants at magfest.org, and any kind of other volunteer matching program. Often, a lot of major companies, Verizon, Microsoft, Amazon, have a program where any volunteer hours you put in, they will match some dollar amount to volunteer hours, and it's usually pretty easy to do from what I've heard. Tech Ops, or as they say, Best Ops, asks what I think of my latest magazine subscription, which I believe they sent. Was it Cat Fancy magazine? Where the hell is this shit? I gotta show you people this. This is ridiculous what I have to go through. Catster. There it is. But it's not addressed to me. It's addressed to someone named Nico Marinar, and I have no idea who that is because it ain't me. Next, an eggplant asks, where is the electric feeder going next? Oh my god, I'm gonna kill you people. I found a rather inappropriate instrument underneath my car seat, signed by John St. John for some reason. I don't know why. And the item is clearly subpar quality. I have higher standards than that, and the brand is just awful. Probably will cause irritation. Not my bag. Someone asks, why is my cat so cute? It's because Sunny. Oh my god, look at this. Look how good that is. That is such. Sunny is a very nice kitty. She's the nicest, cutest. Oh, she's so. Oh my god, this look at that. You see how good? Look that. Look. That's such. Okay. Next up. Alex asks, have you heard anything about a Pokemon event at Mag Labs? I have not personally, but if you ask the research team members, who are the people that run MagFest, run Mag Labs, rather, who is that? That's Joe Cooter, Chris Hybe, Jared Janowski, and Chris Donnelly. You can ping them using, I think, the research team tag on Slack, or research team at magfest.org, or hop into the Mag Labs channel and ask there. They will be able to help you with the answering if there's a Pokemon event at Mag Labs. Daniel Davis asks, what are the best steps from getting out of feeling like Castlevania 3? What are the best steps for getting out of feeling like your Castlevania 3 and eventually becoming your true potential of Akujo Densetsu? I mean, I can see where you're going with this, where it's you're aiming for an improvement, but I think this is a horizontal movement. Granted, the extra Square Wave and Sawtooth channels on the VRC 6 chip on the Famicom version of Castlevania 3, also known as Akujo Densetsu, Legend of the Demon Castle, gave it a richer, fuller sound. It didn't have quite as intricate a mixing as the American version did, leading some melodies and harmonies to be lost in a sea of sound. So it's a sliding scale. You can't have both, and one isn't better than the other. Yeah. But I guess the answer is, if you want to be more like Aquindred Insects, buy a whole bunch of bling and wear that. A magnifying glass is asking me what brands of sex toys I recommend, and as much as I would love to help you on that matter, we are out of time. So next thing I do is I will post a Google Meet, which is basically a hangout. Oh, that I'm not talking to you, phone. I'll be hanging out there for 20 or 30 minutes. If you have any questions, feel free to jump in that meet. I post it in the channel, in Slack, and also in YouTube chat. Bing. All right. It might take a second for me to get back in there, just because I have to quit XSplit so that my camera reinitializes and all that. But thank you very much for joining for the Fireside chat. I'll see you in the Google Meet. And the next Fireside chat is Thursday, August 9th. Ooh, that's right before MAGFest. Yeah, all right, I can stick to that. I got that. All right, see y'all later.